What's up? So I went back and I promised you guys that we do something on genes, how they work, things like that. So we're gonna go over that today. Over the genes, I'm not gonna dive in too far about what it is, but I'm gonna explain kind of uh, what a recessive gene is, what a dominant gene is, what a codominant gene is, and I'm gonna explain kind of how they work. So your recessive gene, if you have snakes that both parents have to carry the gene in order for it to be a visual representation in the children. So if you're looking at something like an albino, because everyone knows what an albino snake is, or pretty much everyone knows what an albino snake is. So if I have an albino snake and I breed it with a non-albino snake, right? All those babies are going to be 100%, I can't speak today for some reason, heterozygous, right? So none of those babies are going to show the albino trait because both parents didn't have it, but all of the babies will be heterozygous for albino or het albino. Now with that, when they grow up, if you breed them to something that has a visual representation of albinoism or something that is heterozygous for albino, then their babies will come out showing that albino trait. Not all of them, but you will finally get a visual representation of albinoism. And so that's how a recessive trait works. So you'll have every single baby heterozygous. We covered that. A couple of different recessive traits that I could think about. My favorite is pied. I love pied snakes. Like, I love them in reticulating pythons. I love them in ball pythons. I love them in boa constrictors, which just freaking happened. And that was a freaking amazing snake. Like, I love the ball python pieds. I think there's some great mutations out there with it. I love the changes that they're doing, and that's kind of what I want to focus on, is like the pieds and adding that mixture into pied and creating stuff like that, because they're my favorite snake. But freaking retic pieds are mind-blowing. That boa constrictor pied that just came out that we didn't even know was possible until recently. It's freaking. But so you have your pieds, you have your albinos, like I spoke about before. You have your hypos, you have your axanthics, you have clowns. So all of these, they take a long process, because most of the time you're gonna have to look at probably 4 to 6 years to really get a visual representation on those. And then you have your dominants. So if I take a dominant trait and I mix it in with a normal trait, 50% of my clutch is going to be that trait, 50% of my clutch is going to be normal. So that one's pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty easy to figure out. There's no super version of a dominant trait, nothing like that. If you mix a dominant with a dominant trait, you mix the same trait, 75% of your babies are gonna end up as showing visual representation of that trait. 25% will still come out normal. And then you have what's called a codominant trait. Oh, I'm sorry. Jumping the gun. Sorry, it's been a crazy day. I'm like all over it. But so a couple of different representations is your leopard, your spider, and there's a crap ton more. Just like with the recessive trait, there's a crap ton more that I didn't speak about, but this is gonna be a short video, just kind of explaining it like I said before. And then you have your codominant. So your codominant trait is a homozygous gene as well. The cool thing about these is if you pair these up and you do two of the same trait, you pair them together, they'll create what's called a superform. Well, when you have babies with the hatchling, when it grows up, 100% of your babies will carry that trait. So you have things like your Mojave, your yellow bellies, your pastels, your lessers, your inchies, your GHIs. So you have those 100% of the babies. If you mix a GHI with a GHI, right, you're gonna create a super GHI. Well, you're hopefully, if the odds are in your favor, you're gonna create a couple. But when you grow up, that super GHI, and you breed it out, 100% of the babies will be GHI, which is freaking amazing if you think about it. That's how we're able to create those 4, 5, I think there's some people that have like 6 or 7 gene snakes now. Like, it's getting kind of insane, but that's kind of what we do. We play with the animals, we play with the genetics, and we find what we appreciate, and we try to create new things, have a new look that people haven't seen before. So I got called the other day, and it was a manager at one of the PetSmarts I've kind of made friends with. We talked back and forth a little bit, and called me and told me, hey, there's this guy that can't take care of his snake. He came to turn it back in. It's got a decent start on it. He just didn't know what to do with it. He's like, hey, I don't know what to do. Apparently the guy had his snake in the glove box. He had 2 snakes, and he was keeping them both in the glove box because he got kicked out of his house. He wasn't feeding them. He wasn't giving them water. One of them ended up passing away, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have picked that one up too. But I picked this guy up. He seems really calm, really collected right now. If he continues to do good and improve, which I'm sure he will. I do nothing but take care of my snakes. So I was happy to take care of him and help him out. But yeah, hopefully I could show him off. He's in quarantine right now, but I could show him off when I show you guys the unboxing on Tuesday. I'm trying to get him rehydrated, get him to settle down a little bit. But he's still under a year. Like, he's a baby still. This guy, like, there's just not much I could say about it. But do me a favor, guys. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see, what you want to see me do. And he told me what he did, or what he knew, which wasn't really anything. He's like, hey, he's just a normal ball python from what I know. So we went to baby girl's checkup, got her birth certificate ordered and all that good stuff, and then I went to PetSmart. I was like, all right, what's going on, man? What do we have? And lo and behold, it was this little guy. Unfortunately, he had a bad situation. Luckily enough, he kind of fell into our lap. He's really, really well fed. Doesn't seem dehydrated, very, very docile. So it sucks for the previous owner. It sucks that situation happened to him and for the snake, but I'm definitely happy to have him. I'm glad I could help him out, and he'll have a very happy and long, fulfilling life here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Say hi to this little guy. Give me some ideas for a name, because I definitely don't know what to call him. I'm gonna be relying on you guys for help every now and then now. What's up, guys? Today's feed day. We're gonna go ahead and get these guys all fed. Let them chow down, let them enjoy life. We still got our new guys in quarantine, so they're gonna have probably another day or two before they get a meal, and then we're gonna start getting everyone on a scheduled day. But without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So I told you guys I was worried about little Mocha Bean here, and Thursday was feeding day. Still didn't want to strike. Took a long time. I didn't fully assist feed. I got him to open his mouth, got the head in, got him to bite down, and he took it. So he's there. He's still having a little trouble, but we finally got some food in Mocha Bean, and I'm super freaking happy.